Susan Gardner here for Municipal World. We're at the 2019 annual conference for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities in beautiful Quebec City. Joining me as the conference wraps up is FCM past president Clark Somerville. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Susan.
So, it's been a great conference. You've just completed your tour of duty as the past president and wrapped up the elections today. Wanted to touch base with you at this point in time. And how long have you been involved with FCM?
Well, I counted the other day when I was here and attending the first timers to coming to the conference. And I thought as a past president, it's important for me to be there. And they asked me to speak. And I reminded them it was, I think it's my 18th FCM conference. Wow. And 15 of those have been consecutive.
Fantastic.
So I have been involved with FCM for a little while.
For a little while. Including, a whole term on the board and
on the board,
as president.
President, yes, as well.
So where do you see the future of local government going?
Well, local government, in my opinion, is more united in Canada than ever before. We have it last night, Don Iveson, the chair of the Big City Mayor's Caucus and the mayor of Edmonton, said it very eloquently, and I wish I'd have written it down. It was beautiful. He said that, we need you to help us with public transit, and we are here to help the smaller communities with rural economic development and broadband and medical. And that's where I think we are getting to that point where the municipal sector is working together.
We're helping each other out.
We're helping each other. And I think part of that is because of organizations like FCM, but also the provincial and territorial associations are all working together. Face it, there is only one taxpayer, as we hear people remind us. But people expect that value, that neighboring towns will work together. They expect that we will work with our provincial and territorial capitals, and we will work with the federal capital as well.
And we've done a lot of interviews here this week at FCM, and we have heard that from so many mayors and councillors from right across the country, the great stuff that they're able to do with their neighbors and work together. So many great examples, and how eager and willing and able they are to work with their counterparts in the provincial and federal governments too.
Yeah, and I think one of the difficult pieces we have now is, especially in our smaller communities, is the loss of the local weekly newspaper.
Absolutely.
And so like where I am in Southern Ontario is there's 2 weekly newspapers. One delivers a lot of flyers with it. Not that there's anything wrong with advertisement.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But the news gets posted online quickly,
yes.
A news story, but it might not appear in print for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Or they may not have room, depending on how much ad space they need. But I think that is going to start having a big impact, especially when they start charging subscription rates on those, what was once a local paper.
Yes.
People will have a harder time with that. And I think that's where municipalities have really stepped in with closed captioning, web streaming, trying to get the message out. And invariably, no matter how hard you try to engage with your citizens, there will be something that happens and people will say, well, when did you start doing this? Even though it may have been in the works for years.
Yes.
There still will always be that difficult part, no matter how hard you try.
But it is a very positive sign. I would agree that we see so many municipalities now stepping up and kind of taking a more active role in their own messaging and working to get that communication out to their community. Yeah. So now as we come to the end of FCM, for municipalities or individuals who haven't been here, not sure what FCM's all about, we heard FCM's Brock Carlton, CEO Brock Carlton, reference, something that was said in Maclean's article about it being an organization, a sleepy mayor's organization, which, of course, from the vibrant conversations and political activity we've seen here, this week is certainly not true. What do you have to say to that about why get involved? Why is FCM valuable?
Well, you know what? It's from being around for a number of years and serving on all the committees that FCM has. When I walk into the room coming into the AGM, not even the AGM, just to the conference, and going into the trade show, I'm energized. So yes, there are sleepy mayors, but it's after it's over and they're going home. We are running full out when we're here. There are sessions this morning that start at 7 o'clock and will be done at 10 or 11. Every day is like that. But it's also, we feed on the energy. Yesterday morning, I had breakfast with people who are from British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Quebec, and Ontario. And we were talking about very simple things that are connecting us into how we can improve our citizens. We're actually talking about newsletters that go out and what we thought. And it was very interesting just going around that room. And there were people, I knew a couple of them, I didn't know all of them. We had that conversation about how important it is to communicate with our residents and how we do it.
And to communicate with each other on the important stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Clark. It's been a delight chatting with
You're
you,
very
as
welcome.
always. I'm Susan Gardner from Municipal World. Here with Clark Somerville, we share your stories.